Hi, this is Trisha from Lemon Paper Lab. In this video, we are going to look at Printful's Oliver Print Yoga Leggings. In this video, I'm going to show you the design process of creating these leggings, and I am going to order these leggings, and I'm going to show you what they look like so you can decide if they are a good product for you. The pattern that I'm going to be using is one that I got from Creative Fabrica. Creative Fabrica is an online resource that offers various graphics and patterns that you can use. What's nice about Creative Fabrica is that it is print-on-demand friendly. Creative Fabrica offers a subscription download where you can pay for the subscription and have unlimited downloads. They do have a couple of different licenses. They do have a basics POD, and depending on the graphic, whether the artist has opted in to allow for full POD, you can use a graphic or pattern as is if you either buy the one-time use license or you are an active subscriber of the Creative Fabrica subscription plan. So this is the pattern that I will be using, and I'll leave a link to this in the description below if you like this pattern. If you want to check out Creative Fabrica, check that out in the description. On this listing, we see that commercial and full POD usage is allowed. So since I'm a subscribing member, I could use this pattern as is. So I'll go ahead and download it. Next up, I am in the Printful dashboard, and we are going to look for the Oliver Print Yoga Capri Leggings. So I'm going to click into the product catalog here. And then I'm going to search under women's clothing here, and we are going to look for our leggings. And then the leggings I am looking at here is the Oliver Print Yoga Capri Leggings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that item. And then what I'm looking for here is these file guidelines. Here you can download the guidelines for creating these leggings. After downloading my file, I'm going to look into the templates here, and I'm just going to make a note of the different files here and their dimensions. So here we have our leggings. We're looking at the file dimension here, which is 7,050 by 4,950. And I'm just going to make a note of that. And then we're going to look at here, this is the back belt. And then you'll just want to go through and just make a note of each of these dimensions, because Printful gives them in their own files, and I like to put them all together in one document using artboards. So whenever you're working with a new project, you only have to really do this once. So now that gathered that data here, I'm going to open up Photoshop, and then I'm going to create a new file. We'll start with our largest dimension, which was that 7,050 by 4,950. You'll want to make sure artboards is selected here. I'm going to set my resolution 300 pixels per inch, and then clicking on create. We'll go ahead and open that document. And then I'm just going to right click, duplicate layers, and then we'll bring it into our new document here. And then let's rename this artboard Capri Leggings. And then I'm going to zoom out, Command or Control with the minus key, and then I'm going to access my artboard tool. If we right click here, we can find it under the move tool. And then I'm just going to click to add another artboard. If you hover on the outside and hit Command or Control, you can drag it if you want a little bit more space. So we see our artboard here, but we need to change the dimensions of it. So I'm going to go to Properties here, and I'm going to change my width. This time we need 3,000 by, change our width, and then we'll need to change our height here, 1,050. And then we'll bring in the document. So we'll exit out of this one. Let's go ahead and open the next one here. So the next one here, we want our front belt. We'll click on Open. We'll select all those layers, duplicate the layers. We'll bring it in to our document. This time we'll move it to make sure we're on our new artboard. And we'll rename it Front Belt. And then let's access that artboard tool again. In this case, we'll hit the keyboard shortcut Shift V, and that will bring up our artboard tool, creating a new one. I'm just going to bring it down here a little bit, and then this one's going to be our back belt. So we can exit out here. I'm going to go ahead and open our last one here. We've got our back belts. We can select all our layers. We'll right click to duplicate the layers, and then let's bring it back in to our document. We have our correct artboard selected. We'll click on OK, and then we can see that we have it here as well. So you really only have to do this once, and then you have this document for your use. But I like to put them all in one document here in Photoshop using artboards. That way I can design and see them at the same time. And then you can easily export and save these artboards to their own files when you're ready to upload them to Printful. So let's zoom in, Command with the plus key. We can see our various things. Let's do a little bit of cleanup here. We'll bring the Capri Leggings here, front belts above the back belts. So now we are going to work with our file that we downloaded from Creative Fabrica. So I'm going to go ahead and open a new one here. I'm going to navigate to my downloaded file here. Here I can see the pattern. We'll click to open it. This is nice and seamless, and then I'm just going to save this as a pattern here within Photoshop. Here in my patterns panel, if you don't see your patterns panel, just go to Windows and select patterns, and then I'm just going to hit this plus icon. We'll save this here, and we have our pattern layer to work with. So we'll jump into our file here, and then we'll create a pattern layer so we can see how it lays out. One thing I like to do when designing leggings is I like to create a box to just divide the right from the left side. So what I'm going to do, we'll just zoom in here a little bit. So I'm just going to create a guideline here, and then I'm just going to put it in the middle here, and then we'll just use our marquee tool. We'll draw out a rectangle, and then I'm just going to fill that with my foreground color, which is Option Delete for Mac. That would be Alt Backspace for PC. We'll create a new layer here, and then we'll fill that with our foreground color. We'll go Option Delete for Mac users, Alt Backspace for PC, and then we have this rectangle. It's below our guide, so we can see it there, and then I'll just deselect those pixels, Command or Control D. We'll go ahead and duplicate this layer, Command or Control J. Accessing the Move tool V here, I'm just going to drag it here to the side, so we have one on this side as well. We'll take our pattern layer. I'm going to duplicate it, Command or Control J. We'll drag it down here. As I'm working here, I'm going to change my mind. I'm actually going to delete these pattern layers, and I'm going to turn this into a smart object. So I'm going to right click, convert to smart objects. A lot of times when I'm working with artboards, I don't like to work with pattern layers at this level. I prefer to work with them in smart objects. So we're going to do that here. I'm going to double click, and then we are going to add our pattern layer in here. So we'll go ahead and save this smart object, Command or Control S, Command or Control W to close it out. And then we can see our pattern here. So if we decide that we want them to be, say, mirror images, which we may or may not like, will depend on how it looks like when we actually upload this file, we could just duplicate this layer, Command or Control J. We can move it over. We'll go ahead and turn off the visibility of this for the moment. We'll move it over here, and then we can flip this. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and then we will just flip horizontally. And then we can see that we can get a mirror image version of our leggings if we decide to do it that way. So let's move on to our next artboard. We'll do our front belt here. We'll go ahead and create a rectangle the size of our artboard. We'll fill it with our foreground color, and then let's convert that into a smart object. We'll double click in, we'll add our pattern here, and we'll save it, Command or Control S, Command or Control W. We'll deselect those pixels, and then you could always duplicate this to our back belt. Maybe we flip it here, edit, transform, maybe we flip it vertically just so we can get a different look here. So now we have our patterns laid out. We can just go ahead and turn off the visibility of those guides. We'll jump this one out of that group. Okay, and then now we have the option to save this. So we're going to go to File, Export. We're going to go to Artboards, to Files. Under Destination, just select to choose where you want to save it to. Then you can give it a name. You want to make sure Artboard Content Only is selected. Here under Export Options, you want to make sure Include Artboard Name is not selected. And then you just click on Run to save it. Once it's done saving, you'll get this message. We just click on OK. And then let's go ahead into Printful to design our product. So here in Printful, we have our items selected, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on Create Product Template. Exit out of this. Here under the product, we can select all to choose all the different sizes here. And then you can choose a stitch color. So we'll go with white. This product does have the option to have an inside pocket. For this one, I'm going to go with no. And then we'll click on our layers. Currently, there's no layers, so we'll upload our files here. So I'm going to click to upload a new file. Navigate to your downloads. We'll click to upload this print here. We'll apply it. Here we get this little notification that the 3D view represents a size medium, that the design may look a little bit different for different sizes. So we can exit out of that, and then we can look around it. So we can decide if we like how this looks or not. So like I said, this was one option if you want to have it look the same side to side. And this also gives us a sense of scale. Do we like the scale of this design, or would we like to scale it down? So in this case, I probably would want to scale my size down. So we did go through the process of creating our template, but you can also upload patterns directly into Printful. So let's go ahead and try that as well. Click to upload the new file, and then we'll select our original pattern file here. We'll apply it. Go ahead and zoom it down here. And then let's get rid of this one here so we can just see what we're working with. And then we have the option to pattern our tile it on our design. So you can play with the scale depending on how you want it to look. We'll zoom in on our design here a little bit. And you can always make this smaller if you want to see more of the design area here. Play with our scale here, and then you just move it around till you get it in a position that you like. So we'll go ahead and click back in to see our design layer. So if you like it here, click on this item here, duplicate to. We can select all placements. That way it will be added to the waistband as well. So we'll check out our front waistband, and then we'll check out our back waistband. With this, you do have the option to add an inside label. I am not going to do that with this one, but it is an option for you. So let's go ahead and see this, how it looks. You could always use this Live 3D, but you also have the option to click here on mockups, and we can see our pattern. I think this is a very fun and bright pattern for leggings, and it looks very cool. So if you like the way your pattern is, you can always name your template. So we'll just go Bright Abstract Capris, and then we'll click to Save to Templates. Here under Product Templates, we can see our template here, and then if you click here and you want to see mockups of, if you want to download your mockups, you can just click to download. You have the option to do custom mock-ups, or you can choose their basic mock-ups. I like to work with their basic, but they do have the option to create more. And then here you can just select the different ones that you want, and then it will show up here, and you can choose to, if you only want certain ones, you can select them here as well. So I'm going to order a sample of these leggings so we can see how it prints. So here is the sample I ordered of the Printful's all over print yoga capri leggings. We can see the fun high-waisted design here. It's definitely a nice, vibrant print. Some of the features to look at here, I'll bring it closer to the camera, is we have our stitching here, and then along the lower part and into the leg we have this cover stitch here that you can see. With Printful, you can choose between a white or a black thread color. It's definitely a nice soft material. And then if we just kind of give it a little bit of a stretch test, you get a little bit of that white, but it does pretty good that direction. You can try it in another spot here. So if we stretch it, you don't really get too much of that white. A little bit with this direction. But overall, the stretch looks pretty good. Overall, the stretch looks pretty good. You don't get too much of that white seeing through. So just kind of showing you the leg. This is how the bottom is finished. We turn it inside out. We see our stitching. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the quality of the sewing and the overall craftsmanship of this product. It looks really nice. It's definitely soft. We can see just on the inside, we have one of the features is you got that tearaway label. We can see that it is machine washable, cold cycle. Kind of pay attention to those wash settings. This is a size large. Just looking at the various parts here. And then just on the inside, you've got just the white base fabric here. And then we'll just turn it over, show you the back. Got that stitching here. And so overall, I'm really happy with how this print turned out and just showing you what this product looks like. So one feature I did not do here was that optional inside pocket. And then you also have the option to have your logo appear. And so I'm going to show you a sample of that in a different sample that I ordered. So right here is a pair of yoga pants that I had ordered with the optional pocket. So this is what that looks like. It's just sewn in here in the back, and then you can see the pocket here. It's not that big, enough for maybe like your key. I don't really think it would fit an ID, but so it's not a very big pocket, but it is an option there. I prefer to have the leggings without it, so I just bought this sample so I could see what it looks like, but I don't really plan on including this pocket. And then also on this sample here, you can see what adding that logo looks like. So if you just upload your logo with a transparent background, you're going to get this white area on the outside. So if you want to specifically choose what color this whole thing prints as, you can do that by filling that entire space when you go to add your branding to it. So I just want to show you this particular product is the leggings with pockets. So I just wanted to show you that one there too. Thanks for watching this video where we looked at Printful's print-on-demand Capri leggings. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. This is Trisha from Lemon Paper Lab. See you next time.